the Radio Misfits Podcast Network.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Honest Edit podcast. We are Holli and Scarlett, and we are brought to you by, well, both, actually.
Brought to you by caffeine and French fries.
Yes. Well, I was going to say Radio Misfits studio here in Dallas, but
that too.
That's okay. We mess up and we just keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're always better at the intros anyway. So today we're talking about organizing as self-respect. Mm-hmm. I really feel like that is very important because, oftentimes I feel like when we walk into a client's home, we might meet them for the first time, or maybe they've just been through the thicket for a couple weeks, a couple months, depending on the last time we saw them. And their mindset is just totally low frequency, completely drained. They're very stressed and overwhelmed. And there's just clutter and piles everywhere. And I think that they just get to a point where they say, you know what, this is not how I want to live. This is getting out of control and we need a reset. And I feel like there's kind of a point to be made here is that even at my own house, when I walk into a space, if I feel like there's like a cluttered pile or there's a project that hasn't been finished or something's just not being done, to me, it feels like I am not treating my space with respect, which technically is a reflection of me. And I'm not respecting myself enough to either just get that done and prioritize it, or I see it and I'm like, oh, I don't want to feel that way. I want to feel great. I want to feel energized. I want to feel peace when I walk into my space. And I do feel like this is like a kind of like a self-help, a self-care when you can look at your environment and go, all right, let's reset. Let's see the things that need to get done. I deserve better than this. I need to operate in a space that I could be efficient in and feel peace and just sort of start whatever process I need to get there.
Right. I think that the clutter around us, it's not just physical. It really seeps into how you feel about yourself, how you show up, how you're moving through your life. So when you create a space that reflects your worthiness, it's telling you, I matter enough to live in an environment that supports me, that I feel like I can be my best in. And so I agree with you. And I feel like lately I've been working with a lot of overstimulated moms. And I come in and there are 57 tabs running. They're trying to do something, tell me what they need. There might be a kid running around or a Zoom meeting in the background. And there's so many things that are going on. It's like, well, no wonder you're in overwhelm because your space isn't set up to support you.
Right.
And yes, things get messy. Sometimes it's hard. We all know that. But what we want what we feel with our clients and we want you to look at is maybe a mindset shift of having an organized home or having not even organized like Pinterest pretty, just having things where you can find them is going to mitigate the stress and the overwhelm that you have to do simple daily tasks.
Right.
If you know where the scissors are, if you know where that craft project is, if you know where your kid's shoe is, you know where that Lego is, whatever, it's going to help you get through the day easier instead of constantly putting you in a state of overwhelm. So what we're talking about is really a mindset shift and shifting into a place that you can feel like you're worthy and that you, like your home and your space is respectful of you. So clutter in your house is a mirror. Go ahead.
Well, yeah. And also I feel like every time we go on our client's home, whether we've known them for a long time or not, they tend to always make these sort of statements. I'm not organized.
Breaks my heart.
I just can't get it together. Or
sorry.
Oh my gosh. We did have a whole episode on apologizing.
Apologies.
Maybe we should revisit that.
Yeah.
But I really start with because look, we can all get messy. My office right now is a total nightmare because we have been shooting and recording a lot. And I'm lifing, we've been traveling a crap ton. I've had really big projects with work. And so I've fallen behind. And I recognize it enough to know that those piles that are like around my office are driving me nuts and I deserve better. But there's no way, shape, and form I'm going to say that I'm a messy person or that I need to apologize to someone if they do walk in my office. I might point out the obvious and say, yeah, there's a pile on the floor. I've just been really busy. I will pick that up kind of thing. That doesn't just live there. Ha ha. And I might make a joke. Check my little fake laugh. Yeah. Oh, God, that needs to be edited out.
Your productivity and your organization in your office isn't what you're worth. It is just something that's happening right now.
Exactly. But I have the systems in place where I literally could take 30 to 40 minutes and put those things away and get it done when I can carve out that time.
Right.
But a lot of our clients, I feel like they sort of feel the overwhelm and they feel like it's an identity thing, that their house is a mess and it's like stuff everywhere and blah, blah, blah. And then they start feeling that triggered guilt and that shame and the weight that really starts to chip away at the self-esteem. And I start with, okay, first of all, we're not going to say that anymore.
Yeah.
We're not going to apologize. First of all, you live here. I don't. So I don't know why you're apologizing to me, number one. Number two, we're not going to feel those emotions. We're just going to start with, let's prioritize what needs to be in these spaces. Let's edit these spaces. Let's start over and let's put some systems in place. So if it does get messy or a little chaotic, you can easily reset it yourself.
Right.
When you have a moment to take a breath and do that.
Right.
But stop with the mindset of this is who I am because things have gotten out of control. Right. One, you're recognizing it and you're bringing us in and you want it to be solved. So that naturally or obviously is not who you are.
And it's not about fixing what's broken. It's about showing up for yourself. And so like making the call to have a helper come in, that's already giving yourself the confidence of like, I know that I deserve better than this. I know that I can do this. I deserve to walk into my kitchen and not feel overwhelmed. I deserve a closet that makes me feel good about my body and helps empower me to get dressed in the morning. It's like brushing your teeth. You don't brush to fix yourself. You brush because you respect yourself enough to take care of your health. And so that's kind of... that's where we are. And you guys, y'all have heard this before. Like, we kind of do a little bit of therapy when we go in because sometimes it is, our clients are down on themselves and there's been a lot going on. And so there's never any judgment from us. And if anyone is giving you judgment, that's not helpful. No. And so we want to come in and help you realize and understand that this work, first of all, it's deep emotional work. It's not only physical work, but it's deep emotional work most of the time. Even if it's just about the clutter is clutter in your house is what you're tolerating. And so there is a component of safety, worthiness, respect that goes into cleaning up these spaces. So we love for you guys out there that are feeling down on yourself to just change that mindset and change that self-talk to yourself. Clutter and disorganization will impact the way that you see yourself. There's an emotional weight to the clutter.
It's just like decision fatigue, Yes. Our clients feel like they can't tackle it because it's more of a mountain versus the molehill.
Right.
Because there's so many decisions that lie in that one. It could even just be a small pile and they don't want to tackle it. But that small pile may be that they're sitting there for an hour on the phone handling bills because it's a pile of paperwork or whatever. And so, yes, we have to do the work. You don't have to do it by yourself. But it's a matter of really saying, you know what? I don't have the proper system in place. I should put that proper system in place. It might take me a hot minute to do that, or I may have to bring someone in and then spend a little bit of time with them. But that is worth it because the stress gets minimized, the overwhelm reduces, and you're not deciding on too much. Because a lot of times, especially for me, and this is what I touched on when we first started talking, was when I walk into a space and there's just crap everywhere, I'm like, oh God, decision there, decision there, decision there. And I can't do it and I won't do it. And I've put up those boundaries enough to know that it's very important to me to carve out that time to do that organization during my week at some point, because I don't want to deal with those feelings.
Right.
I don't want to feel like my brain is overprocessed when I come home at night at 6 p.m. and I'm already tired and I've already made too many decisions throughout the day, or I've talked too much or whatever. And so it's just very important to just reassess. All right, when life's getting a little too chaotic and a little bit too busy, when's a good time to reset?
Right.
You know, but it is in no way, shape, or form who you are as a person, and to feel that sort of guilt and that shame and that whatever. You know, we're all human. We're all trying our best, and there's always a reset point. Period. Right. Always. Or it's you know, we're not really doing this stuff anymore. The kids are not playing, I don't know, insert sport.
Right.
Football. We're not doing football anymore. They're doing swimming.
Yeah.
I know that would be like backwards, but
whatever.
Whatever. And so it's an example. And maybe the football stuff is just sitting in a corner and you don't really know what to do with it.
Well, that clutter keeps you stuck, and then it feeds into that like self-talk of like, I'm messy and disorganized and I'm not capable. And like, what we want you to say is like, I love and trust myself enough that I can build a habit and I can keep this up, and it's worth it for me to get there. And I think that a lot of when we go into, for me, I mean, and I'll speak for you too, because I know that this is what we come up with a lot, but a lot of us in this generation, our parents and the way that we were raised, it was so different. And maybe there wasn't a lot of executive function put into your development. So there wasn't, you know, conversations about this pile and like, what does this need? And where does this go? And all of those things, because your parents are trying to parent you're doing all these things. They're, you know, working. It's all of this. And I think that really the past, I don't know, 20, 30 years, that's really changed with how popular organizing has been and how much, I'll say self-help, but how much emphasis the world has put on stopping, taking a breath, figuring things out, being in the moment, going through your spaces. I mean, the home edit show is a nightmare to watch sometimes, but it also really inspires people to break it down, and it shows the challenges and the struggles that people have. And so I think, you know, for some of my clients particularly, they'll come to me and they'll say, I wasn't taught how to do this as a child. And I don't want to not teach my children how to do it. But now I'm stuck because there's piles of clutter everywhere. I don't know what to do with it because that's not a function that we were taught as, you know, for most of us. So that ties to the shame and the procrastination. And so that clutter will get you stuck. So really thinking, going back and saying, I can make this habit happen. I can spend 5 minutes a day doing this so it doesn't get stuck. I can call someone to come in. I'm worthy of these changes.
And also, I mean, speaking of 20, 30 years, we live in a society that just bulk buys.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Like I have a few clients right now that I'm coaching, and really the clutter evolves, you know, and they recognize it because of shopping habits.
Yes.
So sometimes it's really not even about how they manage the home, but what are you doing that's bringing stuff into the home?
Yes.
You know, and I feel like at that point it's a matter of, okay, well, here's a root issue here.
There's a root cause.
Why are we shopping so much?
Yeah.
And what
are we trying to fill in that shopping?
Yes. What are we are we stressed when we're shopping?
Mm-hmm.
And so we're scrolling on Instagram or something like that. We see something really cute. We just instantly buy it without sort of taking a pause and a breath and going, wait a minute, do I really need this? Or is this like an impulse buy? Can I be doing something else that's maybe healthier to manage my stress? Or is it out of boredom? You know, you're dropping your kiddos off somewhere. You got to go wait. Maybe there's like a Target or something where you can pop in and you're going, ooh, cute stuff. And you load up the cart because, you're going around, but you could be doing something else. Go get ice cream. Go have a coffee. Have a walk. Listen to a podcast like ours.
I think it's the instant gratification that we're looking for. And that is from childhood stuff. That is from like us trying to fulfill different emotional buckets with things. And there's been so much talk about that in the past several years, about the instant gratification of buying the thing or having the thing. And so I think that redefining like why you need this, like ask yourself, do I actually need this right now?
And there are techniques that you can put in place to help, kind of support you. Maybe it's you don't immediately hit, I'm going to purchase, and
you go and look at, like, I do that. My thing is like, I will see something, I'll get influenced by something, and I'll say, I'm going to screenshot this. I'm going to go and research X, Y, and Z. And then I will come back to this. And I would say probably 95% of the time, I end up not going back to it. And now, if you link, if you put a link to something, they're like, give me your email, give me your phone number. So you go in and you can get the discount without your email or your phone number. But you go in and you say stop. And then you're not getting those text messages every 5 minutes and having that like, hey, buy me, buy me, buy me. So take a break. I challenge all of you to sit down and write out all of the different subscriptions that you have. Because like Scarlett said earlier, this bulk buying thing that we do, it leads to clutter. And I had a client just the other day that we found a whole box of vitamins, and there was 2 boxes of vitamins, and they're like, I need to stop that subscription. I'm like, yes, go do it right this second. And so I will.
Subscriptions are a killer.
They are a killer. And
you don't even know you're getting charged for it, and then you get 3 boxes in a matter of like 2 months,
and
then you don't know what.
For it.
Yeah, there's no space for it.
I'm sorry, but like
I always
the people that
say stop with the subscriptions.
It's so hard. It's so hard, and then it's like it. In hindsight, it's like supposed to help us, but then we stop using that product, or we have too much, or we travel, or we switch to something different, and then it's still there in the background, and then it's a constant like open tab of like, oh, I need to go cancel that, and so I challenge you guys to go and write down all your subscriptions and see what you really need, what you already have. And I do that too. I use these little peak tea sachet packets, and I actually found, I'm going to say it, I found a whole fucking box underneath the cabinet the other day that I had. And I saw my husband looking, and he's like, you sure do have a lot of those? And I'm like, yes, I do. And I haven't been using them, and they're expensive. And so that's something that.
And maybe that's where you put in your, I'm a big scheduler, right? I use schedules, and perhaps that's where you go to your little Google Calendar or whatever it is you use, and you say, on this date of this month, which is normally a quieter period for me, a quieter day or something like that, I'm going to make sure that I want all the subscriptions that I have. And you just take that 30 minutes or an hour. It'll save you so much money.
It will. And the feeling that I get when I saw all of those is I felt guilty. I was like, oh, I feel guilty that there's money sitting here on the counter that I haven't used. And then I found another box of money under the counter that I haven't used. And so that's something that is a reflection of my habits and my spending.
But that's not your identity.
But that's not my identity.
There's always
it's just
room
something
for
that
improvement.
happens.
There's always room for improvement for everything that we do. And that is, we need to check in with what our systems look like at home, and then what digitally does our systems look like, and that's where the subscriptions fall in. Even with like the live streaming, same thing. You know, I have no idea, and I need to sit down and I can challenge myself on a certain day of the month to see what is it that I am actually paying for. And then I won't have that surprise, or I won't have that sort of guilt. Oh man, I just found that box or whatever. And it's one day out of the month that you just do an overview and make sure that whatever is in play, you actually want it. Or is like when I'm doing coaching with clients, we do a weekly check-in of certain spaces. Is this working for the space? Do we still do everything that's in the space? We still have interest in it. It's current. It's not out of season, whatever. Do we need to edit the space? Or is this something that we need to change or tweak or whatever the case might be? It's just an evaluation and putting that in your schedule. And it's worth it because things don't get built up. It's that type of maintenance that doesn't normally get talked about unless you're talking with an organizer.
Exactly. And then there's all of these feelings behind, I haven't been doing this, or I don't feel worthy of this, or this space is never going to get clean because I can't keep up with it. And so it's just a very small shift and a discipline into taking the time to sit down and go through those things.
And I really think you can flip that script to sort of wrap up here on this episode. And first of all, stop the apologizing. Stop the self-negative talk. If you want to be an organized person, I'm an organized person.
Correct.
I do great with systems. I check in to my spaces and my digital
footprint.
Thank you. And that's what I do. And start with that. You may not be doing it yet, and that's okay, but that doesn't mean you're never not going to do it. So just say, I'm not doing this yet, but I am this person. I'm an organized person. I set boundaries. I talk positively about myself. I do check-ins with my space and my digital footprint. That's where you start.
Right. So this week, you guys pick one little spot, like your nightstand or your desk or the kitchen countertop, and organize that with intention.
Yes.
And take any of that negative self-talk out of there. And it's not for aesthetics, but simply like a reflection of your own worth and a reflection of what is functional in that space. And then always DM us. Let us know how you feel, what emotions came up for you, what you told yourself, or even like what you have been telling yourself of like, I'm not worth it, or this is just who I am. So we can help change that. I think on my social feed, I've been, with all the things going on, I've been following a lot of artists that are putting like inspirational quotes out there, and makes me feel better.
You can't have too much of that.
You can't have too much of it. I love it. It makes me feel good. And so I've been reposting some of those like really special things that like make my, like, I like have a spark for it. And then I send those to my clients too, because we all need a little pep talk sometimes.
So I do that as well. In short, I basically trained the Instagram algorithm that in the morning when I'm doing like my stuff, you know, when I wake up, I have my AirPods in and I'm literally listening to really impactful, energizing, self-development type of reels that have music to it and visuals. And Instagram picks up really fast what you want to interact with. And all I did was go out and seek those types of people that are putting up that content or just the reels in general and like, comment. And then now that's all Instagram gives me.
I love that.
And so I'm sitting there listening to, you know, a motivational video or something from Napoleon Hill or Brian Tracy for business or whatever. And it's all positive reinforcement. And it elevates and it makes you feel good about your day.
Scarlett's going to share some of that with us so we can all get on her same positive I can do anything vibe. Because this girl has been running circles around me lately.
I don't know about that. See? Okay, we're going to correct this, Holly.
Okay, my bad.
Okay, so Holly is going to get her shit together and she's going to start with a new mindset right now. She's going to say what?
I am as valuable and as worthy as anyone else in my space. And I'm a great organizer and I'm a good mom and I'm doing the best that I can.
Everybody give her a little golf clap.
Is that good?
Is that a golf clap?
Sure. Yeah.
I thought it was supposed to be like really silent.
It's this? We don't know.
I didn't want the mics to pick it up.
Remember, shout out to Chester.
Yes.
All right, friends. It's good to see you. Thanks again. We are, doing the best we can do here in our new space.
Always.
Check us out. We got some new fun stuff coming up. We're going to be dropping a couple new episodes on this other little art project that we're doing. So, again, thanks for being with us.
Yes, thank you.
Give us a shout. Bye.
Bye.